Haven't streamed in a long time. I still have Psychonauts and Ace Attorney Trilogy to complete. Yeah, okay. Let's play Great Ace Attorney Chronicles today. Start. You go.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some were swept away by the tide. But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Adventure of the Great Departure. Bienvenue à la Carnival. I always say that one. 22nd of November, 8:43 AM, Supreme Court of Gyakuten. Defendants and chamber. Is it too loud? I still can't believe it. Still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors of this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, nothing. Serial glares. Murderer. Sorry. My name is Ryūnosuke Naruhodō. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. At the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. Now here I am, waiting my trial. That's enough. That's enough. It's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. Who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, until the judge has given his verdict on his case. No one has the right to treat him as a criminal, so you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryūnosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, I suppose that was my fault. But really, cousin, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Here you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, been all over the newspapers these past few days. The university professor murdered in cold blood by students. Obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I've never murdered someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up, hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryūnosuke. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. He was far more clever than I. Star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. Said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. Looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites acknowledge my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. And come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear. Look at the time. I'd better be going. Right. See you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then, partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Sogi. Sogi, may I have a word? Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. Never mind that for now, Sogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. His Excellency's chambers? Why? I was looking for you before. Your advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who's this man? I feel as though I've seen him at the university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryūnosuke. See you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. This is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryūnosuke Naruhodō, believe? Yes, that's right. My name is Yuji Mikoto. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yumei University. Professor Mikoto? I've heard the name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree with Kazuma studying abroad. Sogio's told me about you. You and me are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you no doubt heard, Sogio has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, he should fail to defend you in today's trial. I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? As I suspect, you are unaware of this. I had a feeling that Sogi may have chosen not to tell. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand, once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When it happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what would the question be? Surely not to accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court's about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Sogi has not been a defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as a defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? You want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in advocating for the likes of you anyway. This is it. This trial goes badly. Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. What's more, I'll be found guilty of murder of Dr. John H. Wilson. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence, the trial that will decide my destiny. November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, I don't know. Courtroom 2. So this is the courtroom? Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of these people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's close to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It will become clear in time, but for now, you need to concentrate, Ryūnosuke. It's about to begin. Sorry, just laughing. The court will now hear the trial of Ryūnosuke Naruhodō.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
As is the defense. Before we begin, there's one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As it is an unusual circumstance, I'm obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. Then, if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Wait and see. I'm kidding. Answer, I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear when you take this defense. What is the meaning of these unruly outbursts? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryūnosuke Naruhodō, will be defending myself. You'll be... what? But you're playing at, Ryūnosuke. Professor Mikotoa told me everything, just now before the trial. What? Said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. Means you don't have faith. You think I won't be able to get you off? No, it's not that, really. It's just that... well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you'd feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoa should have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well. Has the accuser been defeated already? Renouncing his own counsel. Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodō-san?
Well, yes, exactly.
Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. Realize you're in charge, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Jurisdiction of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, defendant Naruhodō? Yes, Your Excellency. Why am I having trouble saying Excellency? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? It's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, it can't be questioning it more than I am. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But wait. Oh, I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? John H. Watson? No. Wilson? Ryūnosuke. Let me guess, your mind's gone blank? You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of E. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. Just have to press E for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead of with E. Find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press C to go back. Don't need to listen. Switching action. That was it. It's going to make me. So remember, everything you do with the current case can be found on the court records.
Can it really?
I better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court records, then press R to present. Right now.
Yes!
The victim name was Dr. John H. Wilson.
Well, at least you can remember the name of the esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yuma University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. As much of you will be aware, has just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Education.
And yet, despite the delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilled on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
But I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, the federal government is scared of upsetting English policymakers. You are a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. That's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Not because he was John H. Wilson, because he was an Englishman. Wilson. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. Nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. Fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the top. I better go. Right, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at the university. I'm sure it's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me put my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodō. Yes, Your Excellency. I'll give this Professor of Medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life. State before the court the cause of death, which is right here. Caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Cause of death. Well, obviously that was It's okay. Remember that in court every assertion must be backed up by evidence. Evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now.
Yes!
Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma.
Learn to read, you imbecile! It's a postmortem report, I take it.
Sorry, yes, that's right. Postmortem report. West, the doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. In Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see! Oh, Naruhodō. Look, I'm not going to be tested on any of these later.
This is the so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scotch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, it shows that the victim is shot at close range.
Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. Photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record. Photograph of victim. Photographic print that shows the victim who was shot from the front of the chest and subsequently died. And there's a stake. Remember the stake. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, I am ordered to better apprise the court with the facts of the case. The prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. Professor? You mean Dr. Mikatola? Yes. Clearly, you're the defense lawyer today, not me. That doesn't mean... Well, I can select as your assistant. Ah, of course! When he was speaking with me before, he simply said Kazuma Soki must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first.
Yes, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Of course. My name is Arturo Osunaga. I'm the head waiter at the Western-style restaurant called La Carneva. Are you alright? Seem to be coughing up some, blood. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really shouldn't.
As everyone knows, the capital southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This green crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery 3 days ago.
Understood. Tsunaka-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir.
And no petty interjection from this fine lawyer boy, please.
Oh, aspiring, maybe not aspiring. It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few dealers at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair, and standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty dejections. The court wishes to listen to the witness report of what he saw, you amateur.
But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defending Naruhodō. Don't worry, Ryūnosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. Now we must just quietly listen to the witness.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with the gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today.
Yes, without question. Son, but
I see. And apart from the accused, is there anyone else standing beside the victim?
But I mean, forget about it. No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and university student. That's fine. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryūnosuke? That's just not right. I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have missed. I'm worried about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Interject.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could be that the accused, this Miss student, is not a real lawyer after all.
But I'm sure of what I saw. Tsunaka-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. We're just protecting the Englishwoman. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. Actually, I have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment layout drawn by yourself, I presume? That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you are clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court records as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you go. Here you are. What was that about? It's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. Waiter's business card has been entered into the court records.
So, the court has now had the proceeds of the case.
Yeah, I want to examine. I want to check the exact. Okay, there's the kitchen here. Here's the entrance. I don't want the magnifying glass. I want us to check the back side. Here's one. Okay. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodō?
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may assume small reprieve in terms of inevitable punishment.
I call this waiter
As an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. I must warn the defense. If you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Now, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Would it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You said it. President Katoba said it. So has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. Yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? The accused is in fact innocent. Then the defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryūnosuke. You. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its weaknesses. And we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Archie, please continue with proceedings.
Well, you were warned. Don't be so reckless. You know, where we come the saints. I can get there when I want to be.
And the pain in the ass as well.
In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
Very well. Officer, bring forth the witness at once.
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Yesanosa. So, reporting for duty, sir. Yesanosa. Just got it. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Myself, I find employed as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of a nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Ryūnosuke, humble premises in the 2nd District. Kyoryo Korekuta.
Vamos a escutar.
Kyoryo Korekuta. At your service.
An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pattern.
All of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on every question.
There must be diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question. Always post-morning. And not infrequently, converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which they make my business.
I can't understand a word that old man is saying. It's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers and they have an interest in antiques and tries to sell these wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele.
Right. Naruhodō. See, although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of the most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative! The enemy unit is seen attacking in the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war. Sir! It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there when loaded his firearms, sir. Did you hear the baby cry? Okay. His manners is impossible to understand as the other. I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatened. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment he shot the victim dead. Yes? Well, you're starting to feel uncomfortable? I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear from your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment from the incident occurred.
I was under the table.
Sir, yes, sir! No, sir! Yes, sir! No, sir! Sir, yes, sir! Standing by, ready to report, sir!
Savory memories of the most acerbic afternoon.
Witness testimony. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a technical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particular fine golden curio.
Okay, let's change it up.
Golden curio to the military gentleman.
That precise moment, the firearm was discharged. Right again. Observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. Black uniform vastly cannon fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious absconding precious curio.
Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at his victim.
Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir!
The wicked university cannon, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy.
What times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light.
Light of day. Broad light of day.
But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone.
Is that really true, Ryūnosuke?
Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. And when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. And I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down and just as I was picking it up, bang!
Well, that's true. There was obviously a criminal in the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. Please? Ryūnosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses.
Cross-examine?
Do it now!
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly, the testimony of the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst?
I mean, the defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. That Shimaki head-bitten boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh? How did you know? Prosecution objects. This is clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
Beginning. The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Yasmin is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct the cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryūnosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in cross-examinations. Very obvious. You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You fire the gun, which means that what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. The key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryūnosuke. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. It's all or nothing. What the witnesses saw.
Yes!
Where do you want to talk me about? A Kogan, my boy. Boy.
Koban? You mean an old other kind?
The day prior to the incident, a treasure of exceptional value from the OA period entered my possession. I took myself to the restaurant. The following day, with said item secretly in my bosom pockets.
Seriously? I don't want that to be what I'm thinking.
In the hope of an affluent, cognizant praise of its indisputable value being present.
So, you're hoping to sell your Koban coin? Sergeant Nosa, whom you met at the restaurant?
Yes, it's rightly where you're going with this, Floyd. You were about to say that a penniless soldier would have no hope of purchasing a precious kebab. Isn't that so?
Well, you little upstart, cadet. You want to either disrespecting a superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Blatant subordination. No, I didn't say anything. Although penniless might be just what I was looking for.
In any case, the hours already advanced beyond the rank of the midday luncheon. There remain precious few present with whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business. The gentleman beside me, who is grappling with his brace wheel at the time, is my sole prospect.
I see.
Yes!
On your hands and knees? Could you explain that, please?
That's right, sparing the arthritis. I was in order to retrieve the lost piece.
What lost piece are you referring to?
The Goldman, of course! Exquisite rare common coin. I just been showing the lab treasure to the military man as he masticated his meal. After averting my eyes for the briefest moments, was there no more. It simply vanished.
Come on.
Come on, vanished? Hence, I began to acquaint myself with the intricacies of the floor in order to locate it. And then it happened. Bang.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Other than, though it was not the concern of mine, I was friendly scouring the floor for the aforementioned lost treasure.
So, in fact, you didn't actually witness the precise moment when the incident occurred.
Indeed, myself, I did not.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Listen, Ryūnosuke. Though there are lies lurking in these statements, it's time to expose them. I understand that. The question is, how? Like I said before, the key to this is using evidence that you've collected. You can examine and present evidence while witnesses giving testimony by pressing E. Go through each witness statement and the details about each piece of evidence and compare all the facts. Somewhere in there, you'll find something that doesn't add up. In other words, an inconsistency. Inconsistency? When you find a statement and a piece of evidence that seem to contradict each other, present your evidence with R and read the witnesses art. Just be careful, because if you assert a contradiction that has no basis, you'll be given a penalty. If you're dealt too many penalties, the defense's case will fall apart and you will receive a guilty verdict. So that's it. We'll use the evidence in the court record and find an inconsistency with the witness statements. Consistency. Alright, I'll give it a try. You can hear the witness's statements over and over again as many times as you like. Keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck. Punk. Eu só quero ver. I just want to ver. I don't know.
Yes!
So you're saying that you actually saw me at that time? Affirmative, I saw you, laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun with English shivering. That's impossible. I only... Allow me to confirm just one point, please.
What's that, Private?
What's that, Private? Be careful about the statement you just made. It seems to me that it must have been after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table. So what if it was? Well, if that really is the case, it would mean that you didn't in fact see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun. R! Double R! My sixth sense. My sixth sense. Sorry? My sixth sense of danger. I pick up the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind. Which means, a split second before you pull the trigger, I was looking right at you, cadet. Surely that's not really impossible, is it? Do you think I've got where I am today, John, if I could see the danger in the air, son? Well, it seemed the soldiers absolutely convinced that this is something they could do. This is not good. Like uniform plastic character, I'm English, civilian. From the back to Carly Little Weasel. Oh. Feels so easy, why didn't I do this before? Just to the chest.
Yes!
What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting this ball of papers in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir? I mean, yes, there's a clear inconsistency here.
What nonsense! What can this document possibly tell us that we don't already know?
Well, obviously, that what I want to say, but words just won't come out of my mouth.
I think this must be my any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in the Grand Courtroom.
So frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. Couldn't be more plain. Spell it out would be an insult to the court. Cosplay, what?
What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the post-mortem report presented by the defense. There's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant, yes sir, no sir.
Yes, sir. What's up?
Yes sir, what's up? Statement you just made was this. Black uniform plastic helmet filed on the English civilian. And from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes sir! Affirmative sir! I witnessed the crime with my own military great eyes, sir!
Yes!
No, that just can't be. Why not, cadet? Because... As is clearly stated in the post-mortem report, fatal hemorrhage from pectoral hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit blood did not pass through the body. Photographic print of the victim clearly shows the same thing. Victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, culprit shot the victim from behind. That is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Oh, look at the baby. What the... What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly there is clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant? No, sir.
Yes, sir. At this juncture, that appeared to be indisputable.
Till the moment I heard the fireman discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the nation's like carnival state, sir.
What?
Last testimony occurred heard for the one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. Previous witness, Sergeant, yes sir, no sir. Not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
Yeah, that's absurd!
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. Like my great... where's he? But, definitely saw him. That university cadet there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. True, old man. You didn't see the moment the victim was shot, you.
Myself, I have already been quite clear. Gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Oh yes, you were looking for your common coin, weren't you?
Indeed, the prize over and at Cooper. Hunting around under the table, I was. Because mayhap it had fallen there. And then it happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but I heed it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded early treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Out of interest. Did you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see. Thought you saw it. Okay, I already know this guy's real.
That lamentable day. The precious away goodbye was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous county pocket price coin for himself.
As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Auchi?
What do you got, Your Excellency? The defendant may have thread a tiger at the front gate, but you will find a wolf at the back.
What?
My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear. There is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryūnosuke Naruhodō.
What? Well, I think I'm going to stop here. Right here. Already saved. I've saved. Okay. So. Till next time. It's taking too long. Why isn't it making... Till next time. Thank you for watching.